Hey folks, it's Nick. I just wanted to try a video blog for the first time on my blog. And so far, most of us, if you're watching from Columbia, St. Louis, Waynesville, and Springfield, we've made it through the first day of this 3 day storm that will be coming in throughout quite a lengthy period of time. And some of us will see different threats. But for this first video, I'm going to focus on the St. Louis area and in Columbia, since there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. So let me go ahead and show you on the map here. You're looking at the National Weather Service page from St. Louis, Missouri, out of Weldon Springs. The counties in pink all along here are under winter storm warnings until Wednesday afternoon, around noontime. The counties in the red, those are blizzard warnings, and that is the first time that I have seen blizzard warnings for Missouri, if not for a long time, for the very first time in my lifetime. We're talking about central Missouri, from I-70 on towards Kansas City. So basically from about Forestdale, New Haven, moving west through Warrenton, Montgomery City, Fulton, Mexico, Columbia, Jeff City, Sedalia, Rolla, and even Waynesville down here. I'll focus on Waynesville and eventually down to Springfield in the next video. But we are going to focus on what will be happening with Columbia and, in my case, western St. Louis County, since that's where I live, but mostly in general for the St. Louis area. There's a lot of stuff going on here, so let's switch over to what everyone is talking about first. We're going to go through a few windows here. This is from KOMU.com, the NBC station out of Columbia, where I still work at. Look at all of these closings from community centers, shopping centers, schools, local schools, high schools, universities. There are a lot of closings for tomorrow, and something I never thought I would see again. Let's see if I can find it here. Look at this. For those of you watching from Mizzou, no class on Tuesday. Enjoy it while it lasts, because from what my only snow day in college was freshman year, when the snowstorm came in early December of 2006. Enjoy it while it lasts, because that's probably the only snow day that, or I don't want to, let me change that again. This will be one of the first of very few snow days that you will see in your college career if you are at Mizzou or any of the colleges located in central Missouri. But of course, not only Mizzou is the biggest college that's being closed. If we go over to KSDK.com, the NBC station out of St. Louis, I wanted to show you, I think it is, St. Louis University, probably the biggest university here in the St. Louis area. It's closed tomorrow. Some of my friends are really excited about that. Good news for my sister, Rockwood School District. That's closed. It's probably their last snow day, but since my sister's a senior, she doesn't get to make up any days that she missed. So enjoy this day, your day off tomorrow, sis. So we have a lot of school closings around the St. Louis area, even though the majority of the St. Louis area is not under a blizzard warning, but a winter storm warning. So what is the setup? What is going on here? Well, here is HPC, the Hydrometeorological Prediction Center. This is where I like to go to get an overall view of where these surface systems will go from here on out. Starting with Tuesday at 6Z, which is around midnight tonight. This look you see right here in southern Missouri and northern Arkansas, that will probably squeeze out a little more moisture from the Gulf of Mexico as it streams towards our area. That could give us maybe a few more rounds of light freezing rain or freezing drizzle. I'm not expecting a whole lot of extra accumulation with this, even though some spots are already slick, mostly untreated side roads, parking lots, and all the like. And especially like bridges and overpasses and any highway entry and exit ramps on elevated surfaces. That's not what I'm concerned about as we head into the overnight hours and into tomorrow. It is actually this low here around in western Texas, just south of the Texas Panhandle. That while it's not impressive right now, as we go into Tuesday morning, it really gains strength as this sucker continues to move towards the east and generally track towards the northeast, where it'll sock New York once again. As we go throughout the day, or actually as we start off here at 6 a.m. in the morning, or 7 a.m. in the morning, sometime in between there, we will see our next round of freezing rain, sleet, and snow, mostly towards sleet and the mix of snow. But as we head towards noontime, as that low continues to move off towards the north and to the east, it is now over, or it will be over central Arkansas at this time. We have so much colder air in place here in central Missouri and in the St. Louis area, where we will see most of this transition right over to snow beginning around lunchtime or around noon tomorrow. Wednesday, you see the low continues to strengthen. You see a lot of these little black lines here. Those are called isobars, which are lines of pressure. With all these several isobars packed together tightly in such a confined space, that usually means that these drastic differences in pressure will lead to strong winds. And since we'll be on the back side of the low, and since this is a strong low, we'll see winds screaming out of the north and out of the northwest. And with plenty of cold air moving in with it, everything that will fall will start to fall as snow. But look at what happens as we head into Wednesday morning around 6 or 7 a.m. Any lingering snow will begin to finally move on out, but by the time we head into Thursday afternoon, or actually Wednesday night I should say, and into Thursday eventually, Northeast will have to deal with this system once again, which will finally begin to dry out. But look at over here, we have a ridge of high pressure building in. So behind all of that, in addition to all the snow and ice that we'll be dealing with, northerly winds screaming at sometimes between 10 to 40 miles per hour. That's going to make wind chills really dangerous, and we could see maybe a few power lines maybe come down and definitely some tree limbs fall, because the winds can easily exacerbate any ice accumulation or sleet accumulation on power lines or trees if they weren't taken care of properly. So let's break this down for you. Let me go to a different source. This is a program called IDV, a forecasting tool that I love because I can get to look at soundings right here. This is from the West St. Louis County with looking at the 18Z model run for tonight. So it is 9:50 right now as of this taping. We are looking at 6Z or around midnight tonight. Notice the sounding here. The line on the left, or this green line on this hodograph, or I should say the sounding, is the dew point, which means the temperature that's required to make the air at a certain level in the atmosphere saturated so you can see the moisture condense and see it hover around through the air. The red line on the right is the temperature, or at least these are all projections. These are not actual like data as it comes out, but this is projected as to what it could be. Heading into midnight tonight, not a whole lot happening here. Maybe some light freezing drizzle, but you see the gaps in between the two lines from about 400 down to 800 millibars. That is a lot of dry air for any moisture that's formed in higher up in the atmosphere to fall through before it makes it to the ground. So generally it's going to be mostly quiet for the St. Louis area for tonight. Freezing drizzle, but not a whole lot of additional accumulation in terms of freezing rain that could lead to additional ice. As we head into 7 a.m. or 6 or 7 a.m., we begin to see the influence of of the new low from Texas coming in. You can see here we're getting a lot more moisture in heading into the morning. You can see more moisture from about 450 all the way down to 800, and it continues to just be moist, representing clouds and moisture from 800 millibars down to the surface. With the way that the holograph, or I'm sorry, with the way that the sounding is projected right now, it will form and fall below freezing until maybe about 8:50 where we could see any precipitation warm up just a little bit, since it'll be just almost above freezing, around 0 degrees centigrade. But as it continues to fall to the surface, it refreezes. So at this stage in the game, we could see a mix of sleet and snow at this point. Moving into 18Z in the afternoon, we are saturated throughout, from 200 all the way down to the surface. Not a whole lot of change here. There will be some pockets where we'll, in the lower parts of the atmosphere, where we will climb just barely above freezing before everything refreezes, before it hits the surface. So we'll be looking at, again, still a mix of sleet and snow. But as we head into the evening, look at this. We get a little bit of drier air coming in, but the low coming in will supply plenty of moisture, and whatever falls, it will continue to fall at temperatures well below freezing. So definitely Wednesday afternoon and into Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night, this will all fall as snow. And look at over here on the right, these are the projected winds. At the surface, you have winds screaming out of the north. So we will see a lot of colder air coming in, not only from the high pressure coming in from the west, but from the low that is continually feeding us moisture and colder air from its backside. Heading into 6Z, which is midnight Wednesday and into the morning on Wednesday, we begin to see drier air come back in throughout most of the atmosphere. We will see the moisture and any precipitation finally move on out. We will see skies clear out, at least clear out of any precipitation, but again, look at the winds here. We will see winds continue to scream out of the north, and with the red line showing temperatures projected at maybe -11, -13 below zero in degrees Celsius around 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Wednesday, we will see really cold temperatures and wind chills well below 0 degrees. So we're going to switch sources here and take a look at another model. This is forecasted radar, or future radar, as to what kind of precipitation will fall. You can see the corresponding key here on your right. We're going to step through this here. We are looking at midnight tonight. From St. Louis here and in Columbia, well, St. Louis will see mostly dry time, but in Columbia you may see on and off light freezing rain or freezing drizzle. So it's going to be a little bit of a dicey go if you're in central Missouri. Moving into, if we can get this to work, there we go. This will be, let's fast forward a little more. Here's 9Z. This is going to be maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. We will begin to see this white stuff here. That is actually sleet. And again, that mix of sleet and snow beginning to work its way in. You can see snow coming back into the picture, at least for Columbia, Jefferson City, Sedalia. That will be what you'll have to deal with as you start to get up in the morning and maybe, if you're brave enough, head into work. 12Z, 6 or 7 in the morning, St. Louis metro area will begin to see that mix of sleet and snow spread throughout the entire area, and a mix between sleet and snow definitely for Columbia. As we head throughout the day, though, look at this. We'll stop this at about 18Z, which is around lunchtime, noon or 11 a.m. Look at this heavy band of snow coming in here, followed by with this brief period of mixing of freezing rain, sleet, and snow all along the I-44 corridor heading into the metro St. Louis area, while we have thunderstorms in central Arkansas. There is enough convective activity with this where we could actually see anything from thunderstorms here in Arkansas to thunder freezing rain in south central Missouri and closer to the boot heel, thunder sleet for Waynesville, Rolla, Lebanon, Springfield, and definitely here in St. Louis as possible, to thunder snow for southwestern Missouri as you head towards Joplin, Nevada, Stockton Lake, Clinton, and definitely back towards Kansas City, Jefferson City, Sedalia, and Columbia. This will continue throughout the night, and with thunder snow, The snow is heavy enough where the race could fall between 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour. Although it's not going to be thunderstorming the entire time, all this snow will definitely add up. And as we go ahead through time here, we are heading into Wednesday. Look at this though. As we head into lunchtime on Wednesday, maybe a few flurries or light snow showers remaining in south central Missouri along I-44, but the system finally moves on out. So with all that said, how much of what can we expect to see? Well, here we are again, blizzard warnings in effect from about Washington, Missouri, and from maybe I-70 from the Warren St. Charles County line north and west at that point. Winter storm warnings for the I-44 corridor from Phelps and the Crawford County line through the St. Louis area, up along I-55 and into I-70 as you head into Illinois. If I can just go to this graphic, because I'm generally in agreement with what the National Weather Service, at least in the St. Louis office, is saying in regards to St. Louis and Columbia. If you can, here is a look at the graphical ice forecast at the end of midnight on Wednesday. Not a whole lot of ice accumulating in the Columbia area, which is maybe 12 hundredths, I should say, of an inch of ice. While that's not a lot, that could cause some slick roads. Here in the St. Louis area, especially around West County, maybe between 3 and 4/10 of an inch of ice. It's definitely a lot better than what the National Weather Service was saying a little while ago, where they were thinking that St. Louis could see 3/4 of an inch of ice, which would lead to some massive power outages and a lot of headaches, especially for those who even dare try to travel on the roads. Now, in terms of snow, where you do see a lot of ice, you won't see a lot of snow. For example, southeast of St. Louis, 2 to 4 inches, from about Vandalia all the way down to Centerville and Farmington. For us, though, in St. Louis and western St. Louis County, maybe between 8 to 10 inches of snow. But with the blizzard warning, with winds screaming at least 35, if not 40 miles per hour, gusting, if not sustained winds, and a lot of heavy snow, not from just the thunder snow, but from any drops of snow that come through, Columbia, you are looking at 20 possible inches of snow falling. You're probably going to be snowed in for at least a day or two, so definitely stock up. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Schnucks employee and we appreciate the business, but you definitely want to stock up for this storm. So that is it, guys. That is your quick update for the Snowmageddon for 2011. So I will wrap this up, and I will, if I have any power after the next few days, I will post updates on my blog, which you can find easily on this website, nmkelly87.blogspot.com.